What's the strangest thing your parents took away from you? My parents removed every comfortable surface from my life, including cushions, soft clothes, and warm water, because they believed physical comfort made children weak and ungrateful. My parents both came from money but hated weakness in any form. When I was 5 and scared of thunderstorms, Dad would lock me outside during them to toughen me up. Mom threw away my beloved stuffed animals one by one whenever I cried, saying tears were for babies. They'd make me watch as they gave away my birthday presents to stronger children who deserved them more. They competed to see who could make me more miserable, keeping score of who made me cry most. They'd already taken away my nightlight, my blankie, anything that gave comfort, but I didn't know they were just getting started. When I was 7, my parents gathered all my stuffed animals, my soft blankets, my cushioned desk chair, and burned them in the backyard. Comfort is weakness leaving the body, Dad said as I watched my teddy bear melt. From now on, I'd sleep on a wooden plank, wear only rough cotton clothes that scraped my skin raw, and take ice-cold showers. No pillows, no padding, no warmth. They replaced my mattress with boards, my clothes with sandpaper-textured uniforms, and disconnected the hot water heater from my bathroom. You'll thank us when you're stronger than everyone else, Mom said, watching me shiver. Living without comfort sounds simple until you realize how much of life involves softness, and how many things just suck when it's taken away. I couldn't sit through classes without pain, because the wooden chairs bruised my tailbone. I couldn't sleep more than 2 hours at a time on my plank before my hips went numb. My skin stayed raw and bleeding from the rough clothes, and teachers started asking about the scratches. My parents told them I had sensitive skin and allergies to fabric softener. The cold showers were torture. Every morning I'd stand outside the bathroom for 20 minutes, trying to force myself under the icy spray. Mom would time me, and if I took too long or tried to avoid the water, she'd spray me with the garden hose in the yard where neighbors could see. I got hypothermia twice. Everything hurt constantly. Sitting, lying down, wearing clothes, existing. My body never adjusted like they promised. Instead, I developed chronic pain and insomnia. I'd see other kids napping on couches or wearing soft hoodies and feel this desperate jealousy that made me sick. When I stayed at friends' houses and felt a real bed, I'd cry from relief, and my parents were so proud of my suffering. They'd brag to other parents about how I'd never been weakened by comfort, how I could sleep anywhere, endure anything. They'd make me demonstrate by lying on gravel or sitting on concrete for hours. Look how tough she is, they'd say, while I bit through my lip to keep from screaming. But after years of torture, I started figuring out how to sneak a little comfort in wherever I could find it. I'd stuff toilet paper in my clothes for padding, hide folded towels under my wooden plank at night, and run my hands under warm water in public bathrooms just to remember what it felt like. I got a job at a department store and spent my breaks lying on the display beds, sometimes falling asleep for 10 minutes of paradise. But my real rebellion was Oliver. He was this soft boy who wore cashmere sweaters and gave the best hugs. Being held by him was like discovering water after dying of thirst. We'd meet in secret, and I'd just lie on his couch with my head in his lap while he played with my hair. For the first time in years, my body unclenched. I started staying later and later, desperate for every second of softness I could steal. My parents found out when they followed me to Oliver's house and saw me through the window, curled up on his couch like a cat. They dragged me home and decided I needed comfort aversion therapy. They filled my room with the softest things they could find. Plush carpets, velvet sheets, down pillows. Then they cranked the heat to 105 degrees and locked me in. Stay as comfortable as you want, Mom said. Within hours, the soft surfaces became torture in the suffocating heat. I couldn't breathe, couldn't escape the cloying softness that stuck to my sweating skin. After 3 days, I was begging for my wooden plank back, but they weren't done. They enrolled me in a wilderness reform program that was just legal child abuse in the woods. For 3 months, I slept on rocks, wore clothes made of bark, and bathed in frozen streams while counselors who shared my parents' philosophy broke us down to nothing. But during the reform program, I developed a severe kidney infection from chronic cold exposure. The wilderness program had to evacuate me to a real hospital where doctors found years of untreated damage, malnutrition, chronic pain, stress fractures from sleeping on boards. When they asked how this happened, I told them everything. Child services placed me with my aunt who bought me the softest bed she could find, but it feels so strange that I still sleep on the floor half the time.